Hey folks, Matt from Art of the Image. I have a quick video tour here for you of the Sony a6000. Thought while we had it here for review, we'd give you a 360 view, 360 tour of the body and just show you what all the parts are and what does what. So up top here, we have the shutter button, obviously, right there. And it's in the center of the on-off switch, which, let's see here. There's the on-off switch right there, and there's the shutter button. The remote sensor is over here, below the on-off and shutter button switch. Over here by the Sony, just below the Sony sign or label, we have the AF lamp or illuminator, as well as the self-timer lamp. So that would flicker if you're on self-timer, and if you're using the AF assist, then that would light up there for focus assist. To the right of the Sony there, just barely visible, right there is a little slot that is the microphone. That's the camera's microphone, right beside the Y in Sony. Obviously, this is our 16-50 kit lens, the 16-50 OSS. That's a 3.5 to 5.6 power zoom, and you could see that powered up when I turned it on. If I switch this back off, you'll see how small that powers down to there. So if I switch it back on, you can see what it extends to. There's with the lens cap off. On the grip side of the camera, down here, is the lens release button. So if we push that in, we could turn the lens and remove it. Conversely, to put it back on, we want to line up the white dot with the white dot on the body there. Click it back into place. Moving back to the top plate here, we have the hot shoe, or as Sony calls it, the multi-interface shoe. Next to that over here, we have the sensor position mark, the image sensor position mark. Beside that here, we have the pop-up flash. So if you push this, you can see that the flash pops up there. The nice thing about the little flash here is that you can hold it back. You can actually have it firing on a slight angle behind you. So if you wanted to do bounce flash, it will facilitate that. It's not a powerful flash, but handy in a pinch. And then it just folds down into the top like so. Hidden away on the top plate there. Beside the flash, we have the mode dial with our program, aperture priority, shutter priority, manual, and various other modes and scene settings that are on that mode dial. Next to that, we have the control dial, and that's what controls the aperture. You could see here I move that and the aperture's climbing up. On the side of the camera, we have the cover for the various ports. So right there we have a multi-micro USB terminal, as Sony calls it, supports micro USB compatible devices, and an HDMI micro jack right there. And that's just covered up by the cover there. Back to the back of the camera. Try to position it so we don't get reflection from outside here. We have the EVF viewfinder, and there's an eye sensor right beside it that will, as you can see, it's turning the screen on and off there. If I block it, it thinks it's up to my face and it's turning that screen on and off, the LCD on and off. The LCD screen itself is maneuverable. Now it's not as maneuverable as the A5100, which will flip right up, but it does let you go out straight out there, as you can see, and it'll come out a little bit into a negative position if you want to shoot down. You could see there the angle to which it will come out to. Beside the EVF, the eye sensor on the EVF, we have a diopter adjustment dial. So that will allow you to adjust the diopter if you need to. We have the menu button, which if you push, you'll get into your menus on the camera there, as you can see. Then we have an AEL lock button, or for viewing, it's a playback zoom button. The movie shoot button or movie shutter button is right here. That's kind of on the side of the camera, just behind the strap ring there on the corner. We have a function button below the AEL button, which is right here. Then we have the control wheel, which will also act as your second command dial. If you want to set your shutter speed, you can see that that works that way there. But it will also, if you're in menu, allow you to scroll through menus and whatnot. And the center is a push button there to activate. C2 down at the bottom is custom function 2. It also functions as the delete button or the trash button. Over beside that is the playback button, the little arrow in it, and that allows you to view your images or your movies. The control wheel itself, if you push to the right, will get you into your ISO settings. If you push to the top, it brings you back to your display modes. If you push to the left, it allows you to change your drive modes. So single, multi, or timer. And then if you push down to the bottom, it allows you to adjust your exposure compensation. On the bottom of the camera, if we flip it over, you can see the tripod socket hole to mount a tripod plate on there. You can also see the battery and SD card door cover. So you just flip the little lock there and our battery is in here. You flip the little switch to the side and the battery pops out. And this is the Sony NPW50 battery. And then it pops right back in like that. I also have the memory card in here. I've got one of my Transcend memory cards. You could see that's a 32 gig class 10 U1 memory card, which is decent for shooting movies. Down here at the bottom of the memory and battery door cover is the access lamp. And that's basically the Sony a6000 in a nutshell. Just a quick tour for those of you that haven't had a chance to get hands-on with it and just wanted to see what was what on the a6000. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I'll see if I can get them answered for you. Stay tuned. We'll be back soon. Thanks for tuning in.